All right. Say it one more time, Regina.
Erom.
Erom. I don't know why I'm having such troubles with that. All right. Well, welcome. Like I said the first time. This is EC Head Consulting, and we do Wednesday night spotlight. And this evening we have our famous Regina Kennedy on here, and she's going to talk about her first year as a loan signing agent. So I'm just going to read her bio, and then we're going to get right started. Okay. Era Mobile Notary Services was founded in 2019 by Regina Kennedy. Regina has been a commissioned notary public in the state of Texas since 2016, and she became a loan signing agent in April 2019. Era Mobile Notary Service was started as a way to offer mobile notary services to seniors, caregivers, and individuals who have health issues or lack of transportation that can make it difficult to travel to a notary public and get important documents notarized. Her inspiration for this service comes from being a caregiver to her mom, who became unexpectedly ill. She knew how inconvenient and challenging it was for her and her family to adjust their schedules during the day to have important documents notarized. She understood the need to make the notary service readily available so that she could get back to the important task of taking care of her loved one. Other accomplishments include member of the National Notary Association, American Association of Notaries, member of the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce, and the Professional Service Seniors Group. Welcome, Regina.
Hey. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I am so glad to finally be on. I've been having this discussion with Liz for a while, and so whoop, here I am. So, Tamika, if you could pop up my slides. And before I get started, I wanted to say, everyone, I want this to be extremely interactive because I think that we all can learn a lot from each other and share our stories. So feel free to chime in if it's something, that you can relate to, or maybe a story that you would like to tell, and have us, all hear your journey as well. So I'm just going to talk about my loan signing agent journey, kind of how it started, some things that started prior to this, and how I ended up where I was last year in April, which was Liz Head's Workshop 1 Loan Signing Agent course. Okay, next slide, Tamika. Okay. As Tamika indicated, I'm the owner of Erom Mobile Notary Services, and it's pronounced Erom. So Erom is my mother's middle name spelled backwards. Her middle name is Marie. So all of this kind of got started because of my mom. I grew up in Southwest Atlanta. I am from Atlanta. I moved to Texas. Actually, I moved to Temple, Texas in August of 2014, and I was there for maybe 8 months. And then I moved here to Dallas. My background mainly is accounting, budgeting, finance, and I did a career change in 2008 when I got my MBA into human resources. So that's kind of some of my background. All right, Tamika. Okay, so why did I decide to become a notary public? Okay, next slide, Tamika. Okay, so I became commissioned, you all, actually back in July of 2016. I was looking for some extra money to supplement my decrease in salary. When I moved from Atlanta to Temple back in August of 2014, I took a job with Baylor, and I was making way into 6 figures. However, I left Baylor after maybe about 8 or 9 months, and I moved here to Dallas. And what landed me kind of in the Temple area was I was looking for a change. I really was trying to go to Maryland. So how I went from Maryland to Temple, I don't know. But I think it was probably those high cost of living prices in Maryland that kind of changed my mind once I kind of thought about it. And so when I came to Dallas, I had been applying for jobs prior to that. I took about a $35,000 to $40,000 pay cut when I took the job here. So of course, I'm leaving Temple. I'm coming to Dallas. Cost of living is higher. I'm on a less salary. What am I going to do? How am I going to make ends meet and supplement this loss? So I got commissioned in July of 2016 because I was going to begin doing notary work. I had been doing some little odd jobs online. I was doing work from home jobs. I worked for Neiman Marcus. I was doing live ops. I was doing all kinds of stuff. And I said, well, okay, I'm going to offer this notary services. So I got commissioned in July 2016. And why I have to March 2019 in a shoebox, because that's where that commission, along with that journal, sat for 3 years in a shoebox because I did nothing with it. It sat there until March of last year. So I came back to this second stream of income again. And I said, okay, well, let me pull out this shoebox. Let me get this and let me see how am I going to make this work. So I pulled that box out. I pulled out my commission. And I was saying, okay, I got to find a way to make some money with this. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to get started. I started Googling, just Googling different things. And okay, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? Because I mean, I'm a notary, but I don't even know where to begin. I don't know what I want to do. I never notarized anything because I told you where the commission and the book sat. So I started Googling and I came across just popped up into, maybe the forums and discussions of people talking about being notaries and making money and doing, this was prior to me knowing about loan signings. So I said, okay, well, maybe I'll start with general notary work. But I didn't know what that meant. I didn't even know what it meant to do general notary work. So I took a basic notary training class. I stumbled upon someone who was offering some training, and I ended up registering for a class, and it was supposed to be 5 of us in that class. But that particular day, it was like storming and it was really, really raining hard. So I was the only one that showed up. And so I began to have my training session. We discussed a few things. She was like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I just want to make some money. Listen, when Liz talk about them $500, y'all know how Liz talk about them $500. I just wanted to make some money. It didn't have to be actually, I needed more than 500. I needed about 1,000. I'd take 2,000 if I could. So I sat down, we discussed some things, and she asked me, well, what's inspiring all of this? And I kind of told a story about my mom. I told a story about how I left my job in Temple and I came to Dallas, how I took, a drastic pay cut, how I don't know, I got these bills, I went from, let's say the apartment that I had in Temple ran me $800. Here, that 1-bedroom was probably running $1,300 or $1,400. And so I took a basic notary class. That was $100. So I started there. And I started with getting some training, trying to figure out, how am I going to reach out to these people and get this business? How am I going to do this? So I used this thing called Thumbtack because I used them to help me move when I moved from Temple to Dallas. And so I said, okay, well, in between that time, I had been I managed to get connected to Liz through Phyllis Trailer, who owns my San Antonio mobile notary service. She connected me to Liz. And Liz, so listen, I had two things going on at the same time. I'm starting with general notary work and trying to get involved in loan signing at the same time, which really was too much going on at the same time. Liz was offering a class, but she wasn't going to be offering it. Somehow we had a conversation and she wasn't sure she was going to offer it in March. Well, I was going to Spain, and so I was like, okay, well, I'll jump on in Liz's loan signing workshop, one loan signing course in April. And I said, well, prior to that, let me work on getting what I need to get to become a loan signing agent, at the same time trying to figure out how I'm going to do this general notary work. So it kind of became a little overwhelming because I'm starting out in one direction and going to another direction, because in between that time I'm reading all of this stuff. Everybody's talking about all this money you can make with loan signing, but I knew my passion was really more towards general notary work. But when I started out doing general notary work, I was like, I'm not making more money. I was losing money because I wasn't sure how to incorporate, like the fees outside of what you can charge for notarizing the document. So coinciding with doing general notary work and getting ready to take Liz's course, I started researching and looking for different ways to network and do different things. I kind of had too much going on because at the same time, I work a full-time job. So, I had to like recruit my sister, my nephew, and my brother. They were unpaid, of course. That's the greatness of having family members at times. You can kind of get them to do some things for you, and you can tell them, when I make it big or hit the lottery, I got you. So what I'm showing you here is a breakdown of all of the fees that kind of went into me getting started with my business. I took the basic notary course, and where the loan signing training, actually that's a combination of two classes, Liz's workshop 1 and Liz's workshop 2 advanced. I paid for some subscriptions, which you can see here: Notary Cafe, 123 Notary. I had an NNA membership. Now, all of this is going on prior to me making a dime. Some of this is just me investing in my business, which, that you're going to have to do. So if you look at all of these fees, if you look to the left, these are more so training and subscription fees. Now, if you look, I joined the Chamber of Commerce. I paid $300 to join the Chamber of Commerce, which was a good investment because it kind of helped me get some networking and some business. Then you know how you get those emails where people be promising you can make this or that, if you get on the top of their list as a loan signing agent. So if you see on the two on the bottom, Notary Assurance and Notary Network, I don't even know who those people are because I don't even think they sent me any business, but they got my $10.95 and my $18. So I would not recommend you doing anything like that when it comes to, someone like, Notary Assurance and Notary Network. Kind of 123 Notary, Notary Cafe, and Notary Rotary. I never paid for a full year's subscription. I was more so kind of concerned on, is this going to benefit me? So I was paying $19 a month for that. And then I paid $21 for my DBA. If you look, Thumbtack, I paid Thumbtack $551 last year in fees for leads because they send you leads for business. And now, would I do that again? I think that I would, because I really didn't have any experience and I started getting customers through there. So that is something that I really do think that I would do. And then the E&O insurance, $72. So I spent $1,600 roughly out of my pocket, to get my business. A lot of these fees is to get it up and going. A couple of the fees came later, but definitely, I coughed up a lot of money to really not know where I was going to be going or what I was going to be doing, because all I just know is I wanted to make money. I had a little bit of a business plan that really kind of consisted of me writing down my ideas. And one of the things on my ideas, and I keep talking, the reason why I keep saying all I wanted to do was make money is because that's a lot of times what we think about. We want to make the money, but we don't know how we plan on going about doing it. So we just start doing everything. I have my hands in everything. I'm just dropping money here, dropping money there. And, next, for me, I didn't really begin to see how much I was spending until a little later, because remind you, I have another job. So it's kind of like that job was bringing in my regular money. And so I'd make a little money from this business and then spend it and make a little, or maybe I didn't, because prior to me getting this DBA and getting everything together, I was pulling money out of whatever card came out my purse at first. Sometimes it might be my business debit card. Sometimes it might be my personal debit card. Sometimes it might be my individual credit card. So I was all over the place, and I couldn't really tell you last year at the beginning, I couldn't really tell you how I was spending money until it was time for me to kind of start, towards maybe like around September or October. I was like, let me go back and take a look at some of this, because I'm spending a lot of money, but I wasn't really making much, because I wasn't really keeping track of my spending. I think I just wanted to make money. And a lot of times when we want to make money, and let me just say this, you do have to spend money to make money. In no way am I saying that that's not what you need to be doing, but you really need to be knowing where your money is going, because
Regina, may I interrupt for a moment, please? This is an awesome list that we're looking at. Now, can you just tell, almost said our listeners, can you just tell our participants of everything that's on here, the $1,600, how much of that $1,600 would you say was necessary for you to get started? Just think about someone who is trying to get started. Nicolette, I'm going to pick on you. Nicolette is brand new. She's taken the classes. She's ready to step out there. So she's had her loan signing training. She's had her her general notary training. Now, with that being said, of all of the other things that you have out here, what are the other fees that you think she would have to deal with, in addition to the money she has already spent for the classes, for her certifications?
okay.
Like your 1, 2, 3 notary cafe, yada yada. How much of that does she need to do in the beginning? And let's just say that the chamber is a big amount, but perhaps it will yield a big amount. So I just talk, if you could, just say of the thing, like strike through what you would say don't do right now.
Okay, that's a good question, Liz. Okay, so what I would say don't do right now would be the Chamber of Commerce membership, the notary assurance the Notary Network, and Thumbtack. Definitely, I would say do Notary Cafe and 123 Notary. Now, if you don't have the money to really do those two and Notary Rotary, my first pick would be 123 Notary, because I will definitely say that I have gotten lots of business off of 123 Notary. So your DBA definitely is needed if you plan on having your business banking account, if you want your name, to claim your name, your business name. 100K of E&O insurance. Some people do 25. I know that when the title companies, if a title company is reaching out to me directly, they'll tell me that I need to have $100,000. They won't, the direct title companies want you to have 100K. So I would say you can get away without the Notary Rotary subscription. I didn't really have a full subscription with them. You can do the NNA membership. I don't know. I'm a member of them, so I don't know what it would be like if I'm not a member. Is there, Liz, or do you know, can you speak on it? Because I have so many subscriptions. I just don't.
Yeah, and see, I have some subscriptions as well, but not nearly this many, because I don't pay for subscriptions other than the National Notary Association and the American the American Association of Notaries, which is a Texas organization. But for me, having a membership with the NNA, it's like if I need something as simple as getting copies of notarial certificates, I can go there and pull down those certificates, and they are standard certificates for Texas. Yeah, you could probably go to your local office supply store and get them. Maybe you can't, but it's convenient for me. If I have a question, when I first started, if I had a question on something, I could call the NNA. I also like, of course, in my workshops, I recommend that people start with the NNA. They get all of their supplies. They do their commission, all of that through the NNA, so that it's all in one place. Some people like to shop around. They'll get a piece here, a piece there, and then at renewal, you're trying to figure out, because you have forgotten that you piecemealed it together. Because like Regina said, a whole lot of things are going on when you get started. So that's one way that you don't have to worry about whether or not you're able to find your information at renewal time. So once you get going and you're up and running and you're comfortable with everything, if you want to shop around, then by all means, shop around. You do not have to be a member of the National Notary Association. You do have to, well, you don't have to be certified with the NNA, but NNA, because it is a national organization, it is the most recognized certificate out there. And if you're going to work with a lot of the signing services, they are looking for that certificate from the National Notary Association. Yes, you can go in and you can just do your certification with them and not do anything else with them. I just recommend that for your first year that you do everything through them for your ease in getting set up. And also they have training, they have other training, some of it is free that you can do. Because keep in mind, training is continuous. You need to keep learning. When new laws come up, you will usually see an article about that law in the National Notary Association newsletters. So that's another reason why it is important for me to remain a member of the National Notary Association. But I'm not trying to tell anybody you got to. I'm just saying those are the benefits, for some of the benefits for me.
That's good you said that too. And just so that you all know, some of these fees some of this stuff is if you plan on doing I was doing general notary work and loan signing. Some people might just want to focus on general notary work. So, you may not need the 100K, insurance, because you may not need that NNA certification fee because you're not really on the platforms. For general notary work, you're really going to be, on Google My Business, Yelp, Bing, and Yellow Pages and stuff like that. So, this is just me kind of listing things that I paid for. This is just to show you how I was spending money and remind you at this point, in some fact, I had not made anything. I was just pushing out money with the hopes of, finding my business to start finally picking up. Because I started maybe general notary work in April. At the same time, I was starting training with Liz for her workshop 1. So all of this was going on simultaneously. And so what you do want to do is have a budget. And you do want to understand that if you are not making any money, then this money is either going to be coming from, let's say, if you're someone like me who had another job, I was just intertwining all my money. So to me, all of it is just one big bucket, even though some of it could be your notary work and your loan signing. I was mixing all of that with my payroll money from my regular job. So for a moment, I didn't know where stuff was coming from. Like I said, I was just pulling out cards and paying for things. But I don't know, is there anyone on here that has paid, an amount of money, like maybe $1,000 or more to get their business started and haven't, have you seen any profit yet? Or what do you think about whether or not there are some things that you spent your money on that you probably shouldn't have? Or, is there anyone on here that can speak to that? Pull yourself off mute if you want to give an example. Okay. Well, if you think about it, or if you find out, just chime in and let me know. And so you go to the next slide, Tamika. Oh, okay. Now on top of them $1,600, I done added another 1,000. You all know that Ron. I don't know for those of you who are familiar with it, but while I was in the process of trying to, first of all, is there anyone on here who is doing Ron or Ren, either one, that's pretty successful with it, who's actually figured out a way to make money? Aisha, can you come off mute for a second?
Sure. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, Aisha. Okay, great. So I started with Ron, interested in doing Ron last year. So I got my commission, my online commission back in July. And so I began to, spend money to kind of get that up and going. But I just never found a way to market it or, begin to start with it to be successful. I dropped a good amount of money on it. So maybe you can kind of speak a little bit to what you're doing with Ron, and is it something that, or Ren, or is it something that you invested a good amount of? You don't have to tell us how much, but just kind of talk about it, because I haven't really spoken to anybody that can really give me information on whether or not they've been successful with it.
Yeah, so I agree with you. The process, there's not a lot of information out there, so you have to dig and find. And I initially signed up with Doc Verify, and that was a nightmare. I spent about $250 And then I wind up canceling it before they charged my next month subscription. So I got started into general nerdery work because, believe it or not, my background check is still pending from May due to COVID. So I said, let me try and get into the Ron and general notary work while I'm waiting on that. And coincidentally, I checked the NNA and I got my digital certificate. I got all of that there. I think it was like less than $100 for both. And I just started researching, and I found one company that has his own platform. So he invites his customers. So I am sharing his platform, and he pays me per notarial act. And that's onlinenotary.us. And then I found another platform, and folks might have heard about it because they're out there doing presentations and stuff, and that's One Notary, who also has their own platform, but they are allowing people to come in independent. So what you're finding is that some of the newer companies that are coming out are kind of changing their model, and not, charging so many fees and making it impossible for the notary to make any money. But eventually I plan, what I'm doing now is building my own platform so that I can, so I'm working with different vendors right now to make sure that I'm compliant with what, Texas needs as far as the credential analysis and all of that. And, building all those other components so that I can do my own and, keep all the funds instead of giving some of that away. So
Right.
that's what I'm doing now.
How long have you had your online commission?
I got it just about June, about June 15th, about a month.
Oh, about a month. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think that some of the people who are getting started with Ron now are coming in at a different time than when I was, because I came in last year, because I thought in my mind that, I'm tech savvy, that this is going to be something. I'm just going to, hop online, do a little bit of Ron, and then I just kind of realized that after I kind of did all of this, I was just like, how am I going to market this, or how am I going to do this? And on top of me doing general notary work, loan signing agent, and a full-time job, because Liz would always say, how do you plan on doing all of this? And I was like,
That is so true, because those are the same things that are going through my head. I just, you mentioned Phyllis. I just met with her the other day, and I'm like, this is crazy because you're trying to do so many things. But literally, I am working on my marketing plan right now. So just like you laid out, I'm trying to figure out which companies are going to yield the best, a large number of customers. I, built all my social media. I got one customer, that organically found me. So that is my goal, is to, understand which one of those areas will yield the, largest amount of customers, I guess. But I did go through the SB, the Small Business Development Center, and they did provide a lot of marketing information,
okay.
research, and stuff like that. So that's another good resource if you're looking to, get some background information. But yeah, I'm
So
doing the same thing.
that's good what you're saying. That's a do, because see, I didn't do what you did. I kind of just jumped in thinking that I could just do this without much thought. And that's one of the do's, is what I'm hearing you say. Is it Aisha?
Yes, yes.
Aisha, the don't is, don't do what I did. Don't just go out there and just start spending all this money and then come back and try to say, well, I done bought all of this stuff. Now, how am I going to make my money? It seems like you had a more thought out plan, and that's what I should have done. And with, and since I didn't, I spent an additional almost $1,000, on top of $1,600 and all the other money that I've spent, you know.
Yeah.
Regina, I'm going to ask Aisha a question, and then we've
Okay.
got a couple questions in the chat for you. Let me just say, though, about the chat. You guys know that you don't have to put your question in the chat. As Regina said in the beginning, this is very interactive. So, I mean, I don't mind reading your questions from the chat, but you can definitely ask your question yourself. But Aisha, you said that you are doing Ron. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, now, are you doing Ron? Are you doing general notary work, or are you
Yes.
doing loan signings as well using Ron?
I'm doing general notary work right now. And then one of the platforms will be on loan signings around August of this year.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Now,
Mm-hmm.
we've got Takesha in Virginia, and she said she uses Doc Verify, and she's been an e-notary for the last 5 years. So, so remote online notarization was obviously available 5 years ago. Here in Texas, it was just available. It was effective in 2018, and it just kind of hit hard for everybody trying to get up and running this year because of COVID-19. But I asked the same question of Takesha. Are you doing general notary work electronically, or are you doing general notary work and loan signing?
For the most part, I'm doing general notary work. What people don't know, or they may already know, Doc Verify doesn't support e-notes. And so I have been doing some seller-side packages through a local title company here. But when the public reaches out to me and want to do their mortgage closings, I tell them directly, you have to get approval from, you know, your lender or whoever sent you, because Doc Verify doesn't support e-notes, and that's has something to do with the recording of the mortgage and that sort of thing. So Doc Verify is limited in that capacity. So right now I do general notary work, and I market the same way that I do my mobile notary work. You know, I have a website, I have a social media presence. You know, people Google notary near me and I pop up, and you know, I try to automate where they can make appointments online and that sort of thing. But I'm really hoping that, you know, some new vendors come along, because as you know, Doc Verify it's not the best platform out there, but it you know, it does the job. I'm a little partial. I actually started with Notarize when I first became an e-notary back in 2015. And so I worked with that platform for about 4 years. And then just this past January, I said, you know, let me get out there on my own. And like the participant before me said, you know, you want to keep all your funds. So I said, I'll give Doc Verify a try. And it's been pretty successful for me. I actually paid up front for the annual fee, and my mindset was, okay, I'm going to pay $500. How fast or how many notarizations do I need to kind of recoup that money? And I'm glad to share that I'm working on my second license, because I've used all my annual credits. And so business has been booming, but how much of that is COVID? How much is it, you know, people just want to do this online? And I will say, just working from in the notarized environment, even, you know, 5 years ago, it's a need out there, it's a demand, and you know, we just got to be in a position where we can compete with the notarizers of the world and have those customers come to us, because some people still like to actually pick up the phone and speak with a real person. If you're going through like a Notarized Inc. platform, you know, you're downloading the app, you're not talking to anyone, and you know, you don't know who is behind the scenes. So it's definitely been a need for it. And like I said, I market myself just like I do for just normal general notary work. And you know, I've had a lot of success with it.
Okay, I got one other question, or rather one other comment about that. I need to make sure that for the listeners that we have here, that they understand that what we're talking about that is the primary thing that's being done electronically, is under the general notary work, not the loan signings. There are few companies who are totally ready to do loan signings. And even though it's approved to be done, there are some holes in the process that they're trying to fill as far as getting the documents recorded, getting the investors to accept the documents. So just know, before you start spending money, understand what you're going to spend that money on. If you are in the market to do general notary work, you then have to decide, you still have to decide which platform. And by all means, I am not a Ron person, but I do know enough to know you've got to determine which platform you're going to use and how you will get business under that platform. So Aisha and Takesha, am I saying that right? Takesha,
Yes.
did I say your name
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Sounds like you guys got a real good, you got a good handle on it. So that might be something, like we said, this is a platform where we learn together. And it may be something that you guys will want to do, is to come on and then just give us more information on how you have been successful doing this. And also, let's see, it is Aisha, you're building your own platform, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Takesha, do you have your own platform?
No, I don't. When I first started, I attempted to do that back in 2015, and I will tell you that everything I was doing probably was not legal at all. The state of Virginia makes it a little harder than other states, and so what I found early on, and it's probably not the case now, a lot of companies don't sell that credential analysis or that KBA product to the independent notary. And so that was like the piece that I was missing. But I've talked to some other notaries, especially some in Texas, like Phyllis Trailer, and I know she has her own platform. But I guess it's something about like pulling things from 5 different products. And like I said, Doc Verify may not be the best, but it offers that kind of that all-in-one capability.
Okay, but you know what? I would love to have Aisha and Takesha. I'd love to have you guys come on and just talk to us about what
Sure.
you know
Yeah.
about this process, because everybody's learning at the same time. Now we have one other question in here, and that's from Dr. Maisha. She said, are we paid the same with Ron?
Are you, can you clarify that question? You mean how
Are
do we get paid?
Are the notaries, it's like to do a notarization, okay, here in Texas, of course, let's just say we're going to do an acknowledgement. It's $6 per signature per page. Is it the same? And how you make your money with the general notary work here, of course, is you're charging a convenience fee. So with Iran, how much, I heard somebody say one time, it's like $25. You can charge $25 over the standard $6 fee.
Yes.
Is that right? 25?
Yes, I work with some platforms that charge the minimum 25, and then I charge 31. Yeah.
So are you saying, let me just make sure I understand what you're saying. So on one platform that we're talking about, the fee is $6 for the notarization itself, that one signature. Then the platform charges 25. So now we're up to 31. Then you charge another 31. So we're up to $62 for that notarization. Did I just count right?
No, I'm sorry. Let me just clarify. So when I'm working at another platform, they charge just $25, right? And then they give me, one platform gives 8, One, I negotiated half of the 25. But if I have the customer, if the customer comes directly to me, I would charge 31 if I organically got that customer.
So you're charging 31, which is 25 plus 6.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct. Yes.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for a newbie who will not have his or her own platform, then they would be working with a company.
Yes.
And that company is then going to charge $25.
Most of them do. The bigger ones charge 25. Yeah.
Okay, so they're going to charge the customer 25, and then you get 8 of the 25. Is that
generally? Generally, yes. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good. Now, tell me why and how I make money with that $8. Let's say, how many of those am I going to have to do in order to say, hey, I made some money on this deal? Keep in mind, I'm on somebody else's platform, so I'm
Right.
only getting $8.
Right. So,
However, I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh, no, that's okay. So my theory was I originally started working with someone else's platform, one, to get experience, two, to learn the different systems, understand the requirements by, Texas Secretary of State. You have to have a minimum of the credential analysis and identity proofing. So I really needed to understand that. It's not my intention to stay with them very long, but that's why I started with the companies. There are people who, for Notarize, they work full time. They get benefits and it's like a full-time job. I heard that's changing. I don't know what the details are on that. But some people, have a block of time. Some of these companies, you have to block out, half of your day. But that's not my intention to do that because I want to be able to do loan signings too. So I want to control my own schedule each day. People can go to my website, they can make their own appointment. So I can't be locked down from 8 to 12. And then what if I don't get any business? Actually, I'm working right now, and hasn't been any business since I came on at 3 o'clock, and then 8 o'clock. So
and that's what Notarize?
Say again?
That's what Notarize?
No, this is with onlinenotary.us.
Okay.
So you have to, give them a time when you're available. But that's not practical for me long term because guess what? I just lost, 5 hours where I could have been accepting appointments or, doing something else. So my whole sole purpose was to really understand the business and learn more rather than, make it a long-term thing. However, that might fit other people who are comfortable with that, who may just want to make, a little extra money. Absolutely correct. You're not going to make, the full fee because if it's their platform, then, they're paying for that per, security fee. They're paying for their, all of those things that make up the notarization. So, they have to take their fee. So it's really, I guess, an individual preference of what will work for you.
And that it actually makes sense because just like with loan signing, if you're working with the signing service, you're sharing that fee because you didn't have to go get the business from anywhere. So they have to take their fee to pay for what they do. And on a notarization, okay, it's $6. Well, they give you 8, and you didn't have to leave your house, and you have the opportunity to get to do 10 of them or 20 of them
right
in a day. So, I'm thinking that's how you make a little money on the general notary, and you didn't leave your house.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely scale. And the better you get at it, the better you get at notary work. I mean, I'm down to like 5 minutes. When they come on, I already know how to add the information to the document before they get on the call with me. And it takes longer to do the ID than it does to do the notarization. And then I'm done.
Yeah. Okay. All right, well, I don't have any other questions. Anybody else got any other questions on this remote online? I just wanted to make sure that we were clear that we're talking, the remote online that we're talking about is for general notary work and not loan signing. It is not loan signing. Few people, if any, are really doing a full package on loan signing right now. You may get a hybrid, which part of it's done online, so it's not truly a full loan signing. So,
And you're right.
I wanted to know.
Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Whoever was talking, go ahead.
No, this is Maisha. Thank you. I wanted to know what were the fees? Are we paid the same through Ron for loan signing as well? Or because I heard of this new platform for Ron and it's $10 or something per notarization. So I don't know if that's right or wrong or if I misheard it. But are we generally paid the same for Ron?
you talking about
For loan signing,
well,
not just general notary work for loan.
well, here's the thing, Maisha. What you may have heard may or may not be right, because, as I said, there are so few people who are doing or trying to do the loan signings on, remotely, on like Ron. They're not doing it. And the other thing is, I would encourage everyone who are new notaries, do not attempt to do a general notary or especially a loan signing, doing any of the remote things, because you have got to know how to do. You've got to have your base. You've got to have your foundation. So you've got to know how to do a traditional general notary signing as well as a traditional loan signing before you embark on a Ron. If you do not, you are setting yourself up for some heartache and potential failure. So it's just been my experience that you have got to, perhaps what you have got to consider your knowledge base. You've got to know these documents intimately. Sometimes people think when they hear electronic, oh, well, that's easier. It is not. It is not easier, and especially if you do not understand the baseline, if you do not understand the traditional notarization, you will have a mighty, mighty tough time. But here's the other thing you consider. You look at all these fees that Regina has paid. You're going to go through all of that stuff. But Regina didn't know any better when she did all of this last year. Now y'all do, because you're on this call. So you know better. But what's going to happen now is that you're going to benefit from Aisha and, girl, I forgot your name. Takika, I don't want to say it wrong. I wrote it down. I thought I did.
Takesha.
You think about it. What we have here is a community, and we learn together. And they're going to share their experiences with us, aren't you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I love that. You see how I was shaking my head? I was hoping you said yes. Now, LaRonda said, I think she means, when will you have a workshop for Ron? I will not have a workshop for Ron. And if you're talking about the general notary work, the Ron, Phyllis Traylor, my San Antonio notary, she has a class out there that walks you through the Ron process. It's not live, it's a webinar kind of thing, but it's only $39, $39.95, I do believe. Anybody who's considering doing this, that's at least a starting point for you. So go check that out, and then we'll talk to Aisha and
Keisha.
girl, don't. Look, girl, I'm old, okay? I can't. Born, all of y'all born at,
Blame
some
it
of
on her
them
head,
at
not her heart.
1975.
Blame it on her head, not her.
Yeah, and my
Yeah.
name is Maisha, so I was like, we probably we all need
Aisha,
to get together.
Tamika. Yes, Lord. I get all these Ishas mixed up. But anyway, but no, girl, I ain't doing no Ron class. I don't intend to do Ron. So, but anyway, I talked too much.
Yes,
Tamika
ma'am.
has texted me to tell me I was talking too much.
And she kept on talking.
I'm
But
sorry.
I think that this conversation was good because I think that people can kind of learn, because I was here last year and I learned a lot just now with Takesha and Aisha talking. This
You're
was
right.
stuff that I didn't even take into consideration last year. I went out and spent the money, and then you know how you see those posts where people say, how am I supposed to be? Now what? I've got my commission, now what? And that's what I did, but I just didn't voice it because I was like, oh, I ain't gonna let nobody know I spent all this money. And I ain't made $1 off of it. But, I know it's funny, isn't it? I mean, like I have money to just be putting out like that. But, I should have been, as Liz indicated, I had just started doing general notary work and loan signing in April. I never even should have been stepping towards remote. You know what I mean? Ron, I don't think I should have because I wasn't even really familiar with those. We got Justin on. Great. Justin's going to tell a little something too, because Justin actually was in class with me, and Justin actually was ahead of me on some things. Justin, can you come off mute, please?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right.
Justin, you were able to actually do some general notary work on Doc Verify, weren't you?
Just one, and that's it. Because I was in, and y'all excuse me, I'm coming from a signing right now.
Make
After
your money. Make your money.
no, I'm trying. And so pretty much just one. I didn't do the investment like the young lady did. I didn't do the time. I didn't do the marketing. I was like Regina. We actually were in the same class of someone, and we didn't have a great experience with making money from Ron because we didn't do the research like we should have. Like Liz says, now we know better. But as I was doing the research, and because I'm in the mortgage industry, a lot of mortgage companies are using their own platforms and their own closers and notaries to do loan signings. So I can just tell you, like Regina said, like I kind of chimed in like at 7:20 when I got out of that closing, but I haven't. I can tell you right now, I've made zero profit from Ron or anything because I didn't do the research. I didn't plan it. I just jumped in there.
Great. Justin, about how much money do you think you spent?
With the class, that was probably 150. With Doc Verify, that was probably like $50. So probably about $300. $300.
Yeah. Well, good. Thank you for that. So hopefully that this was, really helpful to others, because what I definitely want to, accomplish with this today is that you can learn some things, not just from myself, but from others, because a lot of times when you go into business, you don't really know what you're doing or what to expect. This isn't easy. Some people think that this is really easy. It's not. It's a lot to get things going, and it's a lot to be successful. So I just wanted to share this piece about Ron because there's so much talk about it, and if I can save somebody, $200, $300, or even a headache, you know, have a plan is just all I'm saying. And that's, do have a plan. You know, don't be like me. Don't, you know, like Justin said, we jumped in it with no plan. So that's a do, you know, and Aisha and Takesha, thank you, you know, for that. Okay. So Tamika, you can go to the next slide. Thank you. Okay. So here are just some takeaways and just some things that I kind of learned last year. Some things I did incorporate, some things I didn't. You don't have to have a full-blown business plan, but do have an outline. I mean, know what you want to do and how you want to do it and how you want to get there. Because then you'll just find yourself spending money, wasting your time. And Justin and I laugh about it now. You know, it wasn't funny when we were spending the money, but we laugh about it now because we learned a lot, you know, from what we should have been doing differently. Start out slow. Just, you know, start out slow. Just find your niche, you know. Just because I'm doing general notary work and loan signing, you may not like the loan signing. I know people who don't do general notary work at all. They do loan signing. I know some people don't want to do loan signing, they do general notary work. I do both. When I first started out, all I wanted to do was general notary work. Liz will tell you, when I took my first loan, it was a refi. I told her I'd never do another refi. Never, ever. All I do is refinance. I'll take them all day. You know, because now I'm familiar with them. So, you know, do start out slow, you know, and do not spend a whole lot of money buying everything. Look around, find you some deals, go to OfferUp, go to the Facebook marketplace for deals. I got my printer from there, my scanner. I bought, was it 10 reams of legal paper off of OfferUp for basically around $2.50 a ream, for someone who was in a nonprofit business that kind of got hit with COVID and they were trying to get rid of it. And I bought that from there. And do what works best for your business. Have your own ideas. You know, sometimes we jump on that bandwagon because that person who's doing it, you know, it looks to you like they're successful or you want to be where they are. But one thing that I learned is that sometimes you have to have a passion or you have to feel that this is what you really want to do to have that spark to be successful. I knew because of the situation that me and my sister and my brother went through with my mom that I wanted to be that type of notary that could be there for the elderly. Just because I saw the things that could have happened to my mom had we not have been around and involved. And, you know, so just do what works well for your business. I mean, and network and meet people. You know, I talk to Liz all the time. I talk to Justin, and listen, Liz and I be on that phone arguing. You know, we you know, when I say arguing, we'll agree to disagree. I hear everything she tells me, and I might, you know, be on that phone. Oh, she don't tell me what to do. You know, then I might think about it for about a day, and I might call and say, well, you know what? I remember our conversation, and you were right. You know, I heard what you said. I just needed a day or two to kind of digest it.
And what do I say? When you don't want to listen, I say, okay. Okay does not mean I agree with you. It just means I heard you.
Yeah. You know, I done got to a point where I be bugging Tamika too. Listen, it's all in the family. They be fixing me plates and all kind of stuff. I be like, fix me a plate, please. You know.
Yeah, sometimes Regina will call and say something to me, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. No, she'll call me when I'm in a class or something, and then I'll say on the class, don't call me today, because I'm tired. Then who calls? Regina. Liz. I said, didn't I tell you not to call me? She said, well, I didn't think you were talking to me. Who the hell did you think I was talking to? But anyway, let me just go back, if I could, Regina.
Sure.
When you said, do start slow. That is so true. And what I say is that you start small, but you're thinking big. But you want to have all of your pieces, you want to have, you want to set the right foundation. So it takes time to build that foundation. So that's what we mean when we say start slow, because oftentimes people will get their training for general notary work in my Notary 101 class, or they'll do the loan signing class, but then they don't do anything with it for 6 months. We don't mean that slow. You've got to start doing it. And it's like with Regina. Regina was worrying me to death. And I gave her a signing, but I don't know if I can, well, I don't know. I said, okay, then don't do it. Well, I'm gonna do it. And then after she did the first one, swore she'd never do another one. Then she called me, well, Liz, I got another one. What do you think about this? We go through that one. I'm just not gonna do this. This is too much. Now she's probably, and she's part-time, you guys. She's part-time. But sometimes Regina takes as many signings as I do. And she part-time, but I'm part-time as well. But I'm retired part-time, so I'm available during the day. But when she is saying start slow, she's saying get your baseline, get your training, but then you've got to pull the trigger. If you get your training and you sit on it for a year, then so much has changed. This business is ever changing. Right now, you guys, it's wide open for you to make some money. If you're okay putting on your mask and going out there and practicing social distancing, the money is there. The money is there. The signings are there. The people will give you those opportunities that you may not have been able to get a year ago for two reasons. Number one, it's just that much business out there. Number two, a lot of us who are older notaries are not going out as much because we are in the at-risk category. We are in the at-risk category. Like right now, I only go to one title company. I'm only doing cash outs, basically. So that minimizes my risk of contracting. You know, it don't matter. Hell, you could get it going to the grocery store, but I don't go to the grocery store. I haven't been to the grocery store in 2 months, but I can get it at the gas station. You know, so it doesn't matter, but we have to be cautious. So the money is there. All you got to do is get your training, be consistent, do it when you get the business, you take care of that business, because you don't want to be a one and done. You want repeat business. You want to sustain this business once you get it. So if you want it, it's there for you. If you're ready, but you're nervous about it, you think you're going to make a mistake, you will make mistakes. And that's okay. Because when you make the mistake, you're going to own it, apologize, you're going to fix it quickly, and ask for more business.
That is
Go
so
get
true.
your money.
That is so true. And listen, I was bugging Liz even before I got in her class, her first class. I kept sending all these emails back and forth. And by the time I got ready to, when I finally met her in person, I felt like I already knew her, because that's just me and my personality. I'm gonna bug you to death because I want to know. I want to know everything. And listen, I try to have my hands in a lot. And it's not a wise thing to do, because last year I got sick, and I think I was out of commission for about a month. And so that's not something, that's not a place you want to be, where you out there, you know, doing all this work and you're not taking care of yourself. So, and I just want to say one thing about Ron. Just do your research.
We ain't going back to Ron.
No,
I just say out of Ron.
Do your research. You know, that's all I'm just saying is do your research. Now you've met some connections on here. You know, people start sharing your information and reaching out to people. I know I reach out to people all the time. They reach out to me, and so I don't know if there's anyone who's new on here, who's new at doing loan signings or general notary work, who who was nervous, or who's just nervous to get out there and do it? Is there anybody on the call that is in that position right now where you should be out here, doing business, but you're just really afraid? Is there anything that's holding you back? Is there any way we can help you, make that step? Come off of mute and just let us know where can we help you, or where can I help you? Because I had help. If it wasn't for Miss Liz, I wouldn't be here talking to you. So I got a lot to share.
I have a question. It's Vanessa from Allentown, PA. So I've been a notary since 2012 because my job needed somebody to do notarizing work. But I just kind of ran into this whole loan signing and like trying to figure out how you can make money with it. And so I get my stamp on Saturday and I actually do my oath on Friday. But I guess my question is like, when you say start off slow, what does that look like? Like, what are you doing? Like, are you doing wheels? Like, what was it that you were doing?
Hey, that was a great question. So when I say start out slow, I mean, when I started out, there were certain packages I wasn't doing. I mainly started out, I actually started out with general notary work. General notary work kind of gave me, that foundation for me to move to loan signing. And then when I did move to loan signing, I kind of stuck to refinances, seller packages, and buyer packages. I wasn't doing any cash outs or reverse mortgages. I didn't start, I actually don't even do reverse mortgages at all, because I that's something that I don't do. I've never done one, and I don't want to do them. Now, I do cash outs, but I didn't start doing cash outs until I took Liz's advanced workshop course, which was in September, where we went over reverse mortgages and cash outs. So when I say start slow, take one, maybe two a week. You know what I mean? Just so that you can just get that edge off of that nervousness, because I was so I had so much nervousness going on with me on that first one. Start out slow so you can kind of get a feel of how a signing is going to go or not go. That's what I mean by start off slow, because it could be overwhelming getting into loan signings. I don't know if anybody else wants to chime in and discuss, that as well, with their experience when they started out.
Well, and I had that question too. I just completed my classes in March, but I wanted to step out and get the nervousness, and set it to the side, but I'm not able to do cash outs, and that's the ones I've been getting, or cash outs, because they have to be done in a title company or an attorney's office, and I don't have the relationships built yet. So that's kind of been one of.
Is that Doris talking?
No, this is Maisha.
Oh, that's Maisha. Okay. Because Doris pretty much got the same question, but let me just circle back around, if I may, and tell you what I mean when I say start slow in building your base. I mean, get all of your supplies, make sure you're ready to start doing signings. You have your dual printer, your laser printer. You have your computer. Sometimes people try, you young folks think you can do everything on your phone. Well, to do loan signings, you need a computer. Be it a laptop or a desktop, you need a computer, because the way you print your documents may or may not print correctly if you're using your smartphone. Those phones are real smart, but not that smart. You want to make sure that you have at least a case of paper. You want to make sure that you have a print cartridge. I always keep an extra print cartridge. And you can find paper and stuff, like Regina said. You look for those deals. So the main thing is that you want to get training. A lot of people think, oh, I can watch some videos and I can do this and then I can go do it. And what I love to hear people say, oh, I can just shadow somebody and learn how to do it. You cannot. You cannot shadow somebody and learn how to do it. And you especially are not going to shadow anyone in this environment. And also, most people will not allow you to shadow in order to learn because you're working with people confidential information. It's their private information. So most companies will not allow you to shadow someone. So that's what I mean when I say start slow. Get your stuff set up, get your training, and then when you start signing, you will take, I said, Regina just said a couple a week. Well, I'm going to say if you are able to, if you're not, if you're trying to do this full time and you're available during the day, I would say you start with one a day. You do one signing a day. Now I'm talking loan signing, not general notary work, but loan signing, one a day. So you do that for, let's say, a month, or let's say you do that for 2 weeks and you're getting it constantly. You're getting that one a day constantly for two weeks. And then you get your comfort level with it. Those of you who take my classes, I mentor you, I coach you through those first few that you're doing to make sure that you are comfortable going out to do it. Now, that doesn't mean that you can call me and I'm going to sit there and give you the answers to every single document that you have in your package. What I'm going to tell you to do first is to go back and look at your scripts that I give you in class. And then you tell me what that document is, what you are to say about that document, where they are to sign. Because we will go through that entire package, but you're telling me what you're going to do. That's how I mentor. Now, here's the other thing. That doesn't mean if you're sitting at a signing and you get stuck and you call me, I'm not going to say go look at your notes. However, if you're brand new, you need to have your notes with you. And people know when you're new, but you can still show confidence even when you're new, because by then you've had your training and you're the cat's meow. I almost said something else. So you know, because you've had your training. You've had your training. So you do one a day, then you move to 2 a day, then you move to 3 a day. You see where I'm going with that? So that's how you start slow, but you're thinking big. You set yourself a goal. It's like in 6 months, I'm going to be doing X number of closings. I'm going to be making X number of dollars. Do not think that you're going to jump out there. Like somebody was telling me the other day that, oh, I can't work for less than $135 per signing because that's what I need to support my family. Well, you may need to rethink that because that's not realistic. That is not realistic. Even in these times, that is not realistic for your average to be $135. It is also not realistic for you to think, oh, I'm going to work directly with the title companies so I don't have to share my fee. That's not realistic either. You got to get started somewhere. You got to get started somewhere, and you're not going to get that much direct business from a title company on a regular basis when you're new, unless you've already got the hookup with the title company. You know how you got some friends in high places? If you got that friend in a high place who's going to give you that business, God bless you. Okay, but you don't want to put all of your eggs in one basket. You do not want to tie yourself to one title company. What happens if you fall out? You have a little fight. Your business is gone. So be careful with that. Now, Jeannie said, how do you sign up for my classes? I think I put a message in there to go to my website. And I put my website in that chat. Now, did you see that, Jeannie? We have a class this weekend.
Yes, I saw.
Okay. We have a class coming up this weekend.
Well, hi, and I love this. Thanks for doing it. So I'm in Texas, And I'm actually a teacher, so I'm looking into doing the loan signing on the side because I'm going to be retiring in a few years. So I want to try to get, sorry, my phone's ringing. I want to try going so that when I retire, I can do loan signing full time. So I just want to make sure your classes would count for training here in Texas with me, right?
I'm in Texas.
Oh, you are in Texas. Okay.
Where are you in Texas?
I'm in Houston.
Okay, yeah, I'm in Arlington. I'm near Dallas. I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But for now, our classes are Zoom. Because of COVID-19, we're not in the classroom. My classrooms are basically classes are done in person, but we can't do that now because of COVID. So yes, ma'am, we're right here in Texas.
Awesome, I can't wait.
You're already a notary?
No, I'm getting my commission, and then I'm gonna get my loan signing agent, certification.
Your certification. Okay, you know what, Jeannie? I really want you in class on Saturday. However, since you're brand new, may I suggest that you start with Notary 101, which is going to deal with the general notary, what you can and cannot do. And we just had that one. That was usually the first Saturday of the month. So the next one is August, whatever it is, whatever the first Saturday is.
Okay.
But all of them are on my website. I suggest, here again, you want to get your base down. So I suggest you start with Notary 101. But if you want to come to workshop 1 on Saturday, girl, we'd love to have you. We would love to have you. So now, next, Doris.
Miss Liz, I have a question, please.
Yes, ma'am, Robin.
I live way up in Anna, and I have signed up with the recommended 100 companies. I'm almost there. And I've been a loan signing agent since March, realizing that some of the time was in the midst of COVID when we were on lockdown. So if I take that away, I'd say actively since June, but I've only gotten like 2 or 3 assignments. And those were like off of SnapDocs. Is there any recommendations of anything else that I should be doing?
Robin, I am a SnapDocs lover. And now when you say you've only gotten 3 off SnapDocs, are they coming to you and you're just not fast enough to get them?
2 of them were already gone, and 1 I did actually get. And I have read on various sites that they do go rather quickly.
Yes.
One time I actually pulled over on the side of the road as soon as it came in, and it was gone just that quickly.
It will.
But I don't know. And I extended my radius because I am in Anna. And 25 miles from Anna, it really is not that far. So I take that into consideration. So I did extend that. And I know a lot of people will probably frown upon the fact of taking a lower signing, but I wanted to take those to get my feet wet and to learn it. Although I do have a real estate background, I do realize even after doing the minimal signings that I've done, it is much different on this side of this side of the door. But I was just wondering, is it just because of where I'm at that I'm not getting them, or I just don't, I don't,
location does have a lot to do with it. It depends on what's going on in your area. Your question is so extensive that we would be on this Zoom for the next hour, and we can't do that. However,
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It's a great question. And it's those are the kind of questions that we cover in class. So you may want, how long have you been signing?
So I actually, like I said, in March, but I can't really consider that because that we were under lockdown, you know.
Did you do, and so do you do general notary work?
Yes, ma'am. I actually have a few regulars that call me for that
Okay, good.
on a regular basis.
Good, good. Well, what I can suggest to you, Robin, is that if you cannot register for the class on Saturday, then by all means register for the class in August so that we can help you get on your way. The other thing is keep coming back to our Wednesday presentations. And are you on in the Facebook group?
Yes, ma'am. And I am on your I do sign up for your class things on Wednesday. So
okay, good.
I have taken away quite a bit from them.
So other than that, I would say come on to class and let's talk about how we can get you set up.
Okay.
Hi, hello.
I'll also take a look at your profile and, you know, do some stuff like that after class. After I know what you know, because I taught you, then I know I have a baseline to start with trying to help you.
Yes, ma'am.
Does that work?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now going back to Doris. Doris, you thought I forgot about you, didn't you? Doris said, for cash out, how do we go about joining a title company to do the cash out? I get them all the time, but I'm super new and do not know how to get access to title companies. Doris, you're super new. What makes you think you know how to do a cash out? Cash outs are a little bit different than your regular purchase or your regular refinance. So that's the first question that I have for you. The other thing is about getting access to a title company. Where are you located? In my class, I also give you a list of title companies that I know will give you access to do your cash outs. You rent a room from them. And of course you get reimbursed for that fee, for that room fee. So now, but it depends on where you are, because the list that I have are basically title companies that are here in the Arlington, Mansfield, Red Oak. I got the one that's in Red Oak, Burleson, you know, places like that that are not that far. Actually, I don't go to those anymore, but they will allow you to come in and rent a room to do your cash outs. Does that help?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me, Miss Liz?
Yes, ma'am, Miss Doris.
Okay, thank you so much. That helps so much. That clears up a lot of, you know, frustration and makes me very aware. Thank you for the clarity. But I'm in Houston, Texas. Missouri City is where I reside. So I just I'm very new. When I say new, I just got commissioned in June. So I just made a full month. But I'm just trying to, you know, find my footing in this industry.
Well, you're trying to find your footing. I've been saying this a whole lot in this class. You need Notary 101, you need Workshop 1, and you need Workshop 2.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be joining, I promise.
Okay, and then also, here's the other thing y'all gotta remember. You gotta remember, there are a whole lot of people out there training. You gotta find the right type of training that works for you. Could somebody mute themselves? I can't see who it is. But you got to find the right training. See, the way you see me now, this is how I train. Some people, and then everybody got to have your camera on so I can see if anybody falling asleep. And then if I see somebody falling asleep, everybody got to get up and do jumping jacks. I may not be the trainer for you, but I hope I am. So if you are, girl, you just go right on over to my website and get registered for those classes. Does that work?
Yes, now moving on to the next slide.
Okay, no, got another question.
Lord.
Vanessa said, I came late, and this question may have been asked. How do we approach title? I just answered that one. How do we approach title companies? Okay, we did that one. What is the cost of Notary 101? Go to my website, but it's $150. Mika get mad now because we way over. And y'all, for those of you who don't know, Tamika is my daughter. So she thinks she can get sassy. And iPhone, I need a name. I'm from Maryland. Would I be able to take, absolutely, would I be able to take your courses? Yes, ma'am. For the most part, your documents are the same. It's just a matter of whether or not it's a mortgage state or deed of trust state. And then she said, iPhone. I'm saying it's a she, it may be a he. Liz, you seem like straight shooter and would be a good mentor. I mentor y'all all the time. I'm mentoring y'all right now. Okay. All right.
Next
All right,
slide.
Tamika.
Regina,
Hi,
you
I'm trying to find out
Oh,
where is the
no,
class
look at the
this
next.
Saturday.
You trying to find out what?
This is Shannon, and I'm trying to find out where is your class held at in Arlington this Saturday.
Oh, it's on Zoom, baby. We can't go out because it's COVID. So the classes are on Zoom
Oh, okay.
until we're out of COVID. So you can go to my website and sign up for class.
What is your website?
It's www.echheadconsulting.com.
Okay.
You got it? You want me to repeat it, Shannon?
Yeah, let me grab something because I'm in the store. So let me grab something to write that down.
Okay, be quick because Tamika's about to cut us.
I'm sorry, Tamika.
Okay, while she's looking for
Don't
that.
cut us. Don't cut us, though.
You have
okay,
some
go
more in
ahead.
the chat. Yes, some more
Repeat
in the
that, Miss
chat.
Liz.
It's www.echheadconsulting.com.
That's EC Head.
echheadconsulting.com.
Okay. Okay, I got
That's
it.
my website. Mika,
Okay.
I'm sorry. We got another question.
No, that's fine. We just keep moving.
Oh, because it does say question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
Can I add real quick? I'm sorry, Tamika. Can I add? This is Shannon. Can I add real quick? I'm kind of new. Well, I've actually had my commission.
hold on, Shannon.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Did you just stand still for a minute?
You getting us dizzy.
Yeah, just stand still for a minute, big girl. Because
Okay. I've had my commission since 2013. I have not done anything with it. Right now, I'm doing an online class with Mark Will. I don't know if y'all familiar with him.
Yes, ma'am.
Mark Will. So I'm taking his online training as a signing agent, and kind of just want to get some feedback on that.
Okay, I don't know if you heard me when I said that people have to choose what type of training class works best for them. And if Mark Will's program works for you, because he does a lot of marketing, he talks a lot of marketing stuff. If that works for you, then that may be the class for you. My class is based on getting you, is teaching you how to do the documents, how to get the appointments, and what to do when you get there. My Notary 101 class is teaching you the laws, the do's and don'ts. So you don't go out there and do something, somebody asks you to do something, and you do it because you don't know better, and you end up in court. That's my class, and my classes are interactive. They're not webinars or whatever. You have an opportunity to talk to us, but I will tell you this: if you end up in one of my classes, you got to sit still, baby.
Well, I normally would be sitting still, but I had to make it to Walmart, pick up some items. I'm sorry, you guys.
Yeah, and then also for my class, it's hands-on. So for like Notary one, for workshop one, I send you the documents like you're getting them from a hiring company. And you have to print those documents. You have to print them the right way. You bring them to class, and we go over those documents in class. I give you scripts that you can use until you become comfortable. And
okay. Well, you just may see me in your class on Saturday.
Okay, it looks like she froze, but you have the information to register, so we'd love to have you.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions before we go to our giveaways? Regina, you ready?
I am. So we're gonna give away. We're gonna have 2 separate giveaways.
You're kind of low now. Did you
Can
do
you hear
something
me?
different?
Hold
You
on a
moved your
second.
mic. Your mic is on top of your head. It's always been like that?
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay, so we're gonna have 2 giveaways. We're gonna give away, each giveaway is gonna be for these pens. I love these pens. They are the blue ink pens. They're really, really nice. So we're gonna have 2 giveaways, 2 separate giveaways. Tamika, how generally should I, you know, just figure out a question and see who can answer
Yeah.
from some of the information that I provided?
You can do it that way, or you can just do a random number, however you choose.
So
I mean, we gave a lot of information, so that might be kind of hard tonight.
Okay, so we have 20 what, 5, 4, minus me, you and your mom, 23 people?
Yes. She's texting
Okay.
me talking about you kicked me out because I was talking too much. I promise y'all I did not kick her out.
So Tamika, you want to do what, a number between, to make it a bigger range, or how you want to do?
We can do 1 through 25.
Okay, so everybody pick a number 1 through 25.
And
You want
put
me
it
to
in the
put that
chat.
number in my head? Are we done? So do I tell you what my number is?
Well, yeah, that's how we picked a winner.
Okay, so my number was 2, number 2.
Did anyone pick 2? Do you see anybody in the chat with 2?
I'm looking. Oh, something's going on.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, look at Justin.
Justin, no, nobody picked it.
So you picked the closest to 2.
Michelle Hilliard, she had 4.
Oh, Justin, you just put in 2.
Right.
Michelle, is that correct?
I'm gonna win something tonight.
Michelle Hilliard.
Hilliard, yes.
Yes, Michelle Hilliard, you'll get a box of those gel pens, and they are really nice. I love them.
Thank you.
Okay.
Michelle, can you send your privately send your address to Regina in the chat, so she'll have a way to send you your prize. And then we're doing it again, correct, Regina?
We're doing one more.
All right.
And we're gonna expand it. Let's do a little bit more, expand the numbers a little bit more, Tamika. Let's do it through 30.
All right.
Okay, go ahead. Y'all wrong. Okay. Okay. This is moving fast. Okay.
I got you, baby. Just say your number.
15. Number 15.
What's wrong with y'all? There we go. But let me see if there's another one. Nora got 15. And that's it. So we got Nora's got 15. Justin, don't put 15 in there again.
Oh, okay. So this is Michelle. Okay. Thank you, Michelle. I've got your information.
Nora, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to send your address to Regina in a private chat because you don't want us to know where you live.
We might come get them pens.
Justin did it again. You ain't funny, Justin.
Just a little.
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win something this year besides besides bills.
You and me both. All right. So is that it?
Oh, well, let me get I gotta get Nora's address. 1 second. I see she has it in here, but I gotta make sure I get it. Okay, Nora. Okay, Nora. Nora, what's your last name? Is she Martinez? Okay. All right. With the Z or S at the end?
With a Z.
Z. Okay. Thank you. All right, I got it. I got everybody.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna wrap up 42 minutes later. Wasn't normal, but it was good. It was all good information. It really was. So this was worth it. Really was. Thank everyone for joining us. If you have a small business or know someone that has a small business and they would like to be spotlighted on our Wednesday night, please send them my way. I will put my email in the chat. This is what we do. We love to, have our people come on here and tell us what they do. We're all in this together. Small businesses got to stick together. So please feel free to shoot me an email. Let me know that you want to get on. Like Liz said, our next class is Saturday. It is workshop 1. Okay, so if you have not gone to a training with Elizabeth Head, you're missing out. Okay, so get on in there and register. The next class after that is workshop 2, and that's an advanced class. So we do ask that you've done workshop 1 before you jump into workshop 2, because you'll get a little, they're like, we had one lady, she's like, well, this is nothing like Notary 1-on-1 in workshop 1. Yeah, because you already know all that stuff, or you should. So we it's real, we get in there and we get it done. Next Wednesday, we will have Liz on here with live question and answering, so you can ask her anything about loan signing. You can ask her questions about general notary work as well. I'll be on there. That's kind of my baby. I am a loan signing agent, but I do not do that. I only do general notary work, and I love it. So we'll both be on there to answer questions. So if anyone doesn't have any questions for us right now, we are going to sign off.
Bye.
Well, let me put my email on there just for the people that know anyone that has a small business, or you yourself. Feel free to join us on a Wednesday night.
Great.
Can I say one thing if I promise not to be long? Please.
I'll give you 1 minute, 60 seconds. Timer, go.
So I want Aisha and Lakeisha to send your information.
Lakeisha.
Send your information to Tamika if you do want to just put a little presentation together to take Ron a little bit further for those who are interested. That would be awesome.
Right.
Regina, I do thank you for sharing your experiences.
Yes.
And I do apologize that I got long-winded.
That's okay.
You know how I do.
She was expecting it, right? Right, Regina? You were expecting that?
Yeah, I know. But this was great. Thank you, everyone, for coming on. All right. Bye.
Good evening.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye.